Hi, welcome for our online training sessions. In this lecture, we are going to discuss two important concepts in options management module while creating an options plan. These two topics are very important for interview point of view. They'll be asking us the difference between these two, and even when we are conducting the workshops also, the clients will ask the difference between these two. Obviously, stakeholders or super users. Okay, then we are supposed to explain to them. In the interviews also, they'll be asking us these questions. So before we enter into the topic, a small announcement from our training sessions. We are going to conduct HCM training session with Redwood and artificial intelligence on this 27th April 2026, 7 p.m. IST. And we are going to provide the 2 months extensive training, the latest version of Oracle Fusion Cloud HCM with 5 modules. I request everyone to attend this Zoom meeting to know the latest features of Oracle Fusion Cloud, including AI Agent Studio and how we work with Redwood, as well as we will be working with artificial intelligence agents, how we can work. This is our contact number for enrollment. You can communicate with this number. Now let's enter into the topic. So here we see the difference between carryover and rollover. So carryover and rollover both are very important rules we will configure at the time of creating an options plan. Now the question is, what is the difference between these two rules? We already discussed in our training sessions what is meant by carryover and what is meant by a rollover. But when we go for detailed discussion about these two rules, let's come back to our application here. Let me search one options plan here. We go to this tab, accruals tab. Here we have two options. One is formula or another one is matrix. Here we see year-end processing, year-end processing we have. And we also see the carryover limit rule here. Carryover limit rule. And we have rollover. And we have the rollover option. So when this is in Redwood page, which is in latest version when we are working in the Redwood page. In case if we are working in the same uh, classic UI also, we see that. Let me show you that UI also. You can understand easily. When we go for this tab, accruals here, we can find. Here we see. This is a classic UI. Okay, the functionality is same. Whether it is classic way or Redwood, the functionality is same. Now I see that here both rollover rule and carryover limit here. This is related to the carryover and this is related to rollover. Okay. So what is the difference between these two? That's important. The difference between these two. That's one of the important question in the interviews they'll be asking us. When we talk about carryover, it keeps the unused options balance in the same plan for the next plan term. If employee is eligible for annual vacation plan and whatever the leaves employee has utilized, the balance, whatever we have, the balance that will be transferred to the next year for the same plan. Next year for the same plan. Next plan term, whatever is there for that. For example, end of the 2024, whatever balance is there, that will be moved to the 2025 for the same plan. But rollover, you can transfer the unused options balance from the source plan to different plan. You can transfer from, see the moment when you choose this here, I would like to transfer some 5 days, then definitely what is the rollover target plan? If employee is eligible for multiple plans, if one of the plan employee lost the eligibility, if balance is there that we wanted to move to another, that we wanted to move to another balance, another plan, then it's going to be used. That balance we want to move to another plan, then it's going to be used. So both the things we are going to process year-end processing in accrual plan that we are going to do that here. After the rollover, if there is any balance that we do it carry over, and so rollover at the end year, and in case if employee is going to be defined as rollover limit, the balance source plan also is mandatory. Source plan is mandatory over here it is. Okay. So you can, here I have written very clearly, the purpose of carryover is to transfer unused leave time from one plan term to another next within the same accrual plan, same plan from the current plan term to the next plan term. This is rollover means to transfer unused balance from the source plan to different target plan. From source plan to different target plan. So here it will ask you the target plan. Here it won't ask you any details. It will just move for the same plan. Next plan term. Next plan term it will be moved. Target the same accrual plan, but the next plan term are here. A different options plan often defined by a target plan formula. Different plan. When it occurs at the end of the plan term, year-end processing, at the end of the plan term, year-ending processing, or when a worker loses the eligibility for the source plan. Maybe in the mid of the year, employee lost the plan of eligibility. You can also specify the rollover. That option we will be mentioning here. When you go to participation tab, let me take it as null value. When you go to participation tab, here is an option. On loss of plan eligibility, there is a checkbox here, rollover positive balance. Rollover positive balance that. The moment when you choose rollover positive balance, here rollover rules. Same option, we see that two places here. Then what is the target plan? Okay. So here, if you enable it here, otherwise year-end processing. Okay, two levels we do it. At year-end processing as well as when worker loses plan eligibility. This rollover option we see in two places. Rollover rule, this we see it in the participation tab on loss of plan eligibility within the same legal employer. That is one place we configure. Another one is in the accruals tab. We are going to have the rollover rule. So the concept is same, but year-end processing and plan loss of eligibility. That. And processing order. In case in year ending, you are trying to process both rollover as well as the carryover. First, which one system will consider? First, which one system is going to consider? So first in the year end processing, rollover is processed first. rollover is processed first here. Okay, rollover is processed first. Next one, second option, we are going to see that options here. It is rollover happens first and then the remaining balance is processed for the carryover. Remaining will be processed for the carryover. That's what we are going to see this here options. These are the differences between carryover and rollover. Looks like little bit confusion, but you have to go through carefully so that here it is. If you enable rollover, first priority is rollover. In the year-end processing, rollover is processed first. Still, if there is a balance, then it will go to the second option. Next, what are the rules we can configure an accrual matrix formula? While creating an options plan, we see the tab accruals. There is a formula option, means fast formula. There is a matrix option. Matrix means manually we are going to configure as per our requirement. If you feel that the requirement is not able to fulfilled, we are not able to fulfill the requirement as per the client expected, then what we have to do? We need to write a fast formula. So fast formula will dynamically take the values, analyze, and then finally it's going to return the values. Excuse me. Yes, right? So in fast formula, where do we configure this accrual matrix formula? Here. Here is accrual matrix formula. Here we see. Okay. So what are the rules we can configure here it is. Okay. So ceiling rule formula, when you choose ceiling rule formula, you will be able to find that here in accrual formula, ceiling rule. And then we see that here carryover limit, that also we find here, carryover limit. Okay. And then rollover, we cannot do that. Annual accrual limit, when we choose formula, then we will be able to do that here, this. Include in matrix, I can see carryover limit. Then we can see that include in matrix. Here I can see annual accrual limit, include in matrix. So here we can find ceiling period. So all these three. Okay, here we don't have rollover, we cannot include in the matrix. In accrual matrix, we cannot include. So here the concept is, if you would like to put the flat amount, means the fixed values, for ceiling rule, you can put fixed value, annual accrual limit, carryover limit. You can put the fixed value, means flat amount. If you say no, you don't want to use, okay, there is no limit and no carryover. So I don't want to carry over any of the leaves, means no carryover. And whatever the leaves are there that we can do, it means limit, no limit. And no, I want to write separate formula. Okay, you can write the formula. But I wanted to have this value through the matrix. Accrual matrix means indirectly expression builder. Indirectly expression builder you can use here. Through expression builder, you can go for add the options here, and then you can also go for right here formula. Here it is accrual formula here. If you want to have separate formulas, ceiling rule, I want to have flat amount, annual accrual limit flat, but carryover is having some different logic dynamically. Okay, you can go ahead with the flat amount. But I wanted to have the logic for all these three. You can include in the accrual formula, and you can go for write an accrual formula over here. It is. Okay, so these are the three rules: ceiling rule, annual accrual limit rule, and carryover limit. So these all options can be included in accrual matrix, and you can write a formula for that or individually. But rollover will not come under accrual matrix. You want to write a fast formula, of course, you can write a fast formula for that rollover rule. Okay. So these are the two questions what we expect from these two topics point of view in absence management module. Okay. Thank you.